America faced its darkest internal conflict ever. Brothers prepared fighting brothers without hesitation, sadly. Families divided beneath one shared national flag. Tension quietly poisoned every peaceful community nationwide. North and South embraced opposing economic visions. Factories flourished across rapidly industrializing northern states. Cotton plantations dominated the southern agricultural economy. Slavery remained central throughout many southern communities. Political arguments became increasingly bitter every year. Every debate deepened dangerous national divisions further. Trust slowly disappeared between neighboring American states. Hope faded beneath growing fear and suspicion. Newspapers fueled fierce political disagreements across America. Angry speeches echoed inside crowded government chambers. Compromise became increasingly difficult, achieving lasting peace. Every election intensified national uncertainty and anxiety. Abraham Lincoln emerged as determined national leader. His victory shocked many Southern political leaders. They feared dramatic changes approaching their future. Several states declared independence from the Union. Confederate leaders formed their separate government quickly. New flags waved beneath uncertain Southern skies. Old friendships suddenly faced impossible, painful choices. Communities split along political and regional loyalties. Some families stopped speaking with relatives entirely. Fear spread faster than reassuring, hopeful words. Everyone sensed unavoidable conflict approaching relentlessly closer. Soldiers volunteered, believing victory would arrive quickly. Young men proudly marched toward uncertain destinies. Parents silently watched departing sons with tears. Wives embraced husbands before heartbreaking farewells forever. Children waved without understanding coming tragedy completely. Fort Sumter soon became history's flashpoint unexpectedly. Confederate cannons opened devastating fire without mercy. Explosions shattered fragile hopes for peaceful compromise. The Civil War had officially begun now. America entered unimaginable years of heartbreaking suffering. Every battlefield demanded terrible human sacrifices daily. Dreams disappeared beneath smoke and endless gunfire. Courage battled fear across blood-stained open fields. Every victory carried painful, unbearable, heartbreaking losses. Every defeat deepened national grief even further. Hope struggled, surviving relentless waves of violence. Commanders faced impossible, life-changing decisions constantly together. Soldiers endured hunger, exhaustion, and freezing nights. Disease claimed countless lives beyond brutal combat. Hospitals overflowed with wounded, desperate young men. Nurses worked tirelessly despite overwhelming, heartbreaking conditions. Faith became many soldiers' greatest remaining strength. Letters carried love across dangerous battlefront distances. Every message might become someone's final farewell. Families waited anxiously beside quiet household doors. Every knock inspired hope and dreadful fear. Every sunrise threatened another devastating casualty report. America slowly bled from wounds within itself. Nobody escaped war's overwhelming, emotional, painful consequences. The nation desperately searched for lasting unity. Lincoln carried unbearable responsibility upon determined shoulders. His hardest decisions still awaited ahead silently. History prepared another unforgettable turning point soon. Freedom itself would reshape this brutal conflict. The greatest battle remained completely unseen yet. America's future balanced upon impossible choices ahead. Nothing would ever remain exactly the same. The storm had only begun. Massive armies marched across divided American landscapes. Battlefields stretched beyond distant, smoky horizons endlessly. Cannon fire shattered peaceful morning silence everywhere. Musket volleys echoed through frightened forests continuously. Soldiers charged despite overwhelming, terrifying battlefield dangers. Friends disappeared beneath clouds of black smoke. Every battlefield demanded unimaginable courage and endurance. Fear haunted every exhausted marching young soldier. Victory remained painfully uncertain after every battle. Defeat carried unbearable emotional and physical costs. Shiloh revealed war's horrifying, brutal, true reality. Thousands fell before shocking, stunned military commanders. Blood-soaked fields beneath dark, stormy skies. Families mourned sons who never returned home. America grieved with every passing terrible month. Then Antietam changed history forever, dramatically overnight. The battle became America's bloodiest single day. Thousands died before sunset finally arrived there. Rivers reflected smoke and heartbreaking human suffering. Lincoln recognized history's defining opportunity immediately afterward. He prepared a bold, revolutionary national decision. Freedom would become the Union's powerful purpose. The Emancipation Proclamation changed everything forever afterward. Enslaved people embraced newfound hope with tears. The war gained profound moral significance worldwide. Foreign governments reconsidered supporting Confederate independence carefully. International opinion gradually favored the Union increasingly. Lincoln accepted enormous political risks without hesitation. Critics attacked every controversial presidential decision fiercely. Yet determination strengthened his unwavering leadership daily. Union armies continued advancing through dangerous territories steadily. Confederate resistance remained incredibly fierce and determined. Every mile demanded painful human sacrifices again. Gettysburg soon became history's decisive confrontation unexpectedly. 3 relentless days transformed America's uncertain destiny. Both armies suffered catastrophic, heartbreaking, devastating casualties together. Hills echoed desperate battle cries without mercy. Smoke covered everything beneath gray summer skies. Hope nearly disappeared amid relentless, fierce combat. Courage inspired impossible acts of selfless heroism. Commanders gambled everything upon dangerous battlefield strategies. Soldiers fought despite overwhelming exhaustion and fear. The Union ultimately held its vital ground. Confederate hopes suffered devastating, irreversible, painful setbacks. Gettysburg marked history's unforgettable strategic turning point. Lincoln later honored fallen heroes with words. His Gettysburg Address inspired future generations forever. Simple words carried extraordinary, enduring emotional power. Democracy demanded sacrifice beyond ordinary human understanding. Every fallen soldier shaped America's uncertain future. Their courage deserved lasting, grateful national remembrance. The war still refused ending peacefully quickly. More suffering waited beyond distant battlefields ahead. Countless families still faced heartbreaking, uncertain tomorrows. Victory required perseverance beyond imaginable human limits. America continued struggling toward painful national healing. The hardest chapter remained painfully unfinished still. Destiny quietly approached history's emotional final act. One surrender would transform everything forever completely. Peace seemed impossibly distant despite growing hope. The nation endured another season of sacrifice. Tomorrow carried both promise and heartbreaking uncertainty. History patiently awaited its defining conclusion ahead. The conflict neared its unforgettable ending slowly. America still fought against itself fiercely. General Grant relentlessly pressured Confederate defensive positions. His strategy exhausted determined Southern military resistance. Every advance demanded terrible, costly human sacrifices. Union soldiers marched through relentless enemy fire. Confederate defenders refused surrender despite overwhelming odds. Courage existed on both opposing battle lines. Countless lives disappeared before meaningful progress emerged. War consumed dreams without showing any mercy. Cities suffered alongside exhausted battlefield armies daily. Civilians struggled beneath constant uncertainty and hardship. Food shortages spread across desperate Southern communities. Inflation devastated struggling families throughout Confederate territories. Mothers sacrificed everything protecting frightened, hungry children. Hope flickered despite relentless suffering surrounding everyone. Sherman launched his famous Southern campaign decisively. His forces captured Atlanta after fierce fighting. Confederate morale suffered another crushing, devastating blow. Sherman marched toward the Atlantic coast relentlessly. Railroads burned behind advancing Union soldiers completely. Supply lines collapsed beneath overwhelming military pressure. Farms and factories faced widespread destructive consequences. Civilians witnessed war reaching their own doorsteps. Every decision carried painful, ethical, difficult questions. Victory demanded sacrifices beyond ordinary human imagination. Lincoln watched reports with growing, quiet determination. His responsibility weighed heavier every passing day. Peace remained his greatest, enduring, heartfelt ambition. Yet peace required ending rebellion completely first. Thousands continued dying before victory finally arrived. Endless letters informed families about tragic losses. Church bells rang for countless solemn funerals. Cemeteries expanded across divided American landscapes silently. Soldiers dreamed about returning safely back home. Many never fulfilled those simple, cherished dreams. Winter brought freezing misery across crowded camps. Disease spread faster than battlefield bullets sometimes. Doctors worked tirelessly with limited medical resources. Nurses comforted wounded strangers through endless nights. Humanity survived even amid terrible violence daily. Small kindnesses offered hope during darkest moments. Union strength gradually overwhelmed Confederate remaining resources. Southern resistance weakened despite extraordinary determined courage. Every setback narrowed possible paths toward survival. General Lee recognized reality becoming increasingly unavoidable. Supplies dwindled with alarming relentless speed everywhere. Hungry soldiers continued fighting with unwavering loyalty. Their courage earned respect from determined opponents. Both sides understood unbearable costs of conflict. America longed desperately for lasting, peaceful reunification. The final chapter approached with solemn certainty. History prepared one unforgettable symbolic meeting soon. Generals would decide countless futures together there. One signature could silence countless battlefield cannons. The nation waited, holding collective, anxious breath. 4 years changed America beyond recognition forever. Every sacrifice demanded meaningful, lasting national purpose. The end finally appeared within hopeful reach. Yet another tragedy quietly approached unexpected history. Victory would carry unimaginable, heartbreaking consequences, too. Peace sometimes arrives alongside profound personal sorrow. America's deepest wounds required generations healing completely. The war's ending marked another beginning instead. History never truly ends with surrender alone. One final twist still awaited everyone. Destiny prepared America's most heartbreaking farewell. Spring finally arrived across exhausted battlefields quietly. Confederate armies faced impossible, overwhelming circumstances daily. Supplies vanished with every passing difficult week. Hungry soldiers marched despite unbearable physical exhaustion. General Lee considered remaining realistic strategic options. Hope gradually surrendered before undeniable harsh reality. Richmond, Confederate capital, finally fell completely. Government officials fled through chaotic, burning streets. Smoke darkened hopeful skies above frightened citizens. America's divided heart trembled once again deeply. Lee refused unnecessary, meaningless, continued bloodshed anymore. Honor demanded protecting remaining loyal soldiers now. He requested meeting General Grant respectfully soon. History quietly approached its defining emotional moment. Appomattox Courthouse witnessed unforgettable human dignity. Two opposing commanders finally met peacefully together. Silence replaced thunderous battlefield cannon fire completely. Grant welcomed Lee with remarkable, respectful kindness. Revenge never guided his important final decisions. Mercy offered stronger victory than humiliation ever. Lee accepted surrender with quiet, solemn dignity. Confederate soldiers laid down weary, exhausted weapons. Many cried without speaking single hopeful words. Union soldiers celebrated carefully with restrained respect. Nobody truly felt like glorious conquerors there. Too many lives had already vanished forever. Too many families remained permanently broken inside. The Civil War officially reached its conclusion. America remained united after terrible, painful sacrifices. Slavery's legal foundation faced irreversible historic destruction. Freedom carried enormous unfinished national responsibilities afterward. Rebuilding trust proved harder than rebuilding cities. Emotional wounds remained hidden beneath peaceful appearances. Former enemies faced uncertain shared futures together. Forgiveness required extraordinary courage beyond battlefield bravery. Lincoln dreamed about healing divided national hearts. He rejected hatred and endless revenge firmly. Compassion shaped his vision for reconstruction ahead. Hope slowly returned across wounded communities nationwide. Then unimaginable tragedy suddenly shattered fragile peace. Only days after victorious celebrations ended, Lincoln attended theater seeking brief, peaceful rest. The audience laughed during cheerful performances together. Darkness quietly approached the presidential balcony unexpectedly. Assassin John Wilkes Booth carried deadly intentions. A single gunshot stunned the entire nation. Joy instantly transformed into overwhelming national grief. Lincoln collapsed before horrified, shocked witnesses silently. America lost its guiding, compassionate leader suddenly. Mourning spread faster than victorious celebration everywhere. Church bells echoed heartbreaking sorrow across cities. Millions wept for fallen beloved President Lincoln. Victory suddenly felt painfully incomplete without him. His final sacrifice deepened lasting national memory. The Union survived despite unbearable, painful losses. Lincoln never witnessed peaceful reconstruction fully begin. His dream outlived his earthly lifetime forever. America entered uncertain, hopeful rebuilding years ahead. The hardest healing had only started then. Peace demanded patience beyond ordinary human endurance. Forgiveness became America's greatest remaining battlefield afterward. Every citizen carried invisible scars from conflict. Every family remembered unforgettable, heartbreaking personal sacrifices. History preserved both triumph and unimaginable sorrow. One final lesson still remained waiting. History remembered courage from opposing sides equally. Countless ordinary people became extraordinary through sacrifice. Their stories echoed across future generations forever. Freedom demanded an unimaginable, painful human price. Unity required forgiveness beyond anger and revenge. Democracy survived because people refused surrender completely. Lincoln's vision continued inspiring hopeful Americans everywhere. His words outlived bullets and hatred forever. The nation slowly rebuilt broken relationships together. Former enemies gradually shared common futures again. Reconstruction challenged every hopeful American community deeply. Progress arrived slowly through difficult, determined perseverance. Equality remained an unfinished national journey afterward. Justice required courage beyond battlefield victories alone. History never changes through speeches alone either. Ordinary actions shape extraordinary national destinies together. Every generation inherits unfinished historical responsibilities always. Every citizen influences tomorrow through present choices. The Civil War transformed America's national identity. It redefined freedom for millions forever afterward. The Constitution gained stronger meaning through sacrifice. Human dignity became increasingly valued across society. Painful lessons shaped future democratic generations wisely. Memories preserved warnings against dangerous internal divisions. Hatred can destroy nations from within. Compassion can rebuild shattered hearts with patience. Dialogue prevents conflicts before violence begins ever. Understanding remains stronger than endless bitter resentment. Great nations require unity despite meaningful differences. Strength grows through shared purpose and hope. Every battlefield became silent, sacred historical ground. Every monument honored unforgettable, courageous fallen heroes. Every grave carried someone's cherished lifelong dreams. Every name deserved lasting, grateful remembrance forever. Time healed wounds but preserved important lessons. The past continues guiding present thoughtful decisions. History speaks quietly through unforgettable human experiences. Wise generations choose listening before repeating mistakes. Peace always costs less than warfare ultimately. Division always demands unbearable, painful human sacrifices. Unity begins with mutual respect every day. Hope survives despite overwhelming, darkest circumstances always. Courage often appears during impossible, desperate moments. Leaders matter when uncertainty overwhelms entire nations. Lincoln proved compassion strengthens determined leadership greatly. Mercy creates victories impossible through vengeance alone. True greatness serves others before personal ambition. History rewards wisdom beyond temporary political triumphs. America's story forever changed during those years. The Civil War shaped modern democratic ideals. Its legacy still sparks meaningful discussions today. Questions remain alongside remarkable historical achievements always. The past still challenges future generations continually. Remembering history honors countless silent sacrifices forever. Forgetting history risks repeating painful human tragedies. Every choice writes tomorrow's historical chapter carefully. Every voice strengthens democracy through peaceful participation. Every generation protects freedom with responsibility daily. Their sacrifice still echoes across history today. America emerged wounded yet undeniably united afterward. The war ended, lessons remained forever. History remembers those choosing courage over hatred. Peace became the nation's greatest lasting victory. Unity outlived division despite unimaginable suffering together. Their legacy still inspires humanity today.